Pixar believes in the beavers with their latest family movie, my review of Hoppers, right now. Welcome to Rester Reviews, my name is Daniel, and today I will be reviewing the animated sci-fi comedy Hoppers. It's directed by Daniel Chong and stars Piper Curda, Bobby Moynihan, Jon Hamm, Najimy, and Dave Franco. Despite its title, Hoppers is not about bunnies. Instead, the hopping in the title refers to humans putting their consciousness into animal robots. Imagine Avatar, but instead of big blue Na'vi, you get beavers and other wildlife. Hoppers follows Mabel, voiced by Piper Curda. She's a college student and animal lover who is protesting against a highway expansion that would go through a glade that meant a lot to her and her grandmother. Mabel discovers that one of her professors has been developing a hopping technology in order to study creatures more closely. She jumps into a beaver robot and sets out to find a real beaver so that it can return to the glade in order to save it from being destroyed. Mabel is an interesting character at the center of Hoppers. She's an activist with attitude and impatience, but one whose heart is always in the right place. She's one of those students who is failing in grades but has one of the brightest minds in class. Mabel is surrounded by other colorful characters as well, especially once she enters the animal habitats. The beaver she ends up meeting is named George, and he's voiced by Bobby Moynihan. George is an optimist who sees the best in animals and humans alike, even when animals are being pushed out of their homes. Mabel and George make for a likable duo who challenge each other with their worldviews. This includes George teaching Mabel about the pond rules that the animals follow. One of those rules even addresses how predators need to eat prey. The highway expansion is being pushed by Mayor Jerry Generazzo, voiced by Jon Hamm. Mabel and George not only have to deal with Jerry, but also an antagonistic caterpillar named Titus as well. He's voiced by Dave Franco. All of these characters are wonderfully brought to life by the cast. Piper Curda brings a lot of energy to Mabel, while Bobby Moynihan makes George the heart of the film with his warm performance. Jon Hamm and Dave Franco are clearly having fun as the villains in Hoppers, and they bring about some of the best laughs. The one and only Meryl Streep also lends her voice to the film as a butterfly queen, and she's involved in an unfortunate situation that made me laugh out loud. The screenplay here by Jesse Andrews, who also co-wrote Pixar's Luca, is fairly simple, and I wish that it had pushed away from obvious plot turns a bit more. The gentle grandma character could have used a bit more to her as well. Even so, the writing works well enough, and Andrew comes up with a few really creative scenes, including a chase that involves a certain apex predator. Hoppers also contains welcome messages in it about respecting nature and seeing the good in everyone. Director Daniel Chong and his team bring the expected Pixar visual magic to Hoppers. The film has a lot of earthy tones in the color palette given the forest and glade settings. The action is given a lot of clever visual touches too, including that aforementioned chase scene. Hoppers also does an interesting thing with its animal characters, where they have expressive faces, large eyes, and understandable dialogue when talking to each other, but they have blank eyes and grunts and growls when viewed by humans. This technique has been done in other animated films, but Hoppers does it in a way that feels fresh, often shifting back and forth with the perspective multiple times throughout one scene. One of the best uses of this involves a scene where different animals are trying to text on a cell phone. Before I give you my final thoughts and rating, please hit that like button if you've enjoyed this review, and consider subscribing and enabling notifications if you haven't already. You can also find and follow me on the social media platforms Blue Sky, Letterboxd, Backlog, and Award Expert. Hoppers isn't peak Pixar, but it's a charming and enjoyable adventure. The characters are brought to life by a delightful voice cast, and the animation is vibrant. It also puts some respect on the importance of beavers as a keystone species. I'm giving Hoppers a 7.75 out of 10. I think it's a really good animated film, and I recommend it for theaters at matinee. That's just my thoughts though. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Hoppers, and let me know what your favorite Pixar film of the 2020s has been. I think that mine has been Soul. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can check out these other videos on Rester Reviews right now.